Hello, I'm Veena Khandelwal. In this video, we will learn about Tkinter's Spinbox widget. The Spinbox widget is a variant of the standard Tkinter entry widget which can be used to select from a fixed number of values. Here in this example, to use the Spinbox, we first of all import the Tkinter module. We define the root window. We define the size of the root window and then use Spinbox widget inside the root window, and the values which is used are beginning from 0 to 10. So if we want to use a range of values that begin with 0 and end at 10, then we can define like this, and this is then packed into the root window, and if we use the root.main loop command. So when we execute this, so we find that the values are from 0 to 10. Similarly, if we want to use some text type values, then we can define those in the variable values and define the various text to be printed for this Spinbox widget. So if I execute this, so we see two spin boxes, one for the number and other for the colors. So there are 3 different values which we have used, and there are 10 different numbers which can be used as Spinbox widget. Now, if we want to print the value which is received with the help of Spinbox widget, then we can also do that. Here in this example, I have imported the Tkinter module, then declared a root window. Inside that, I have raised a title, defined the size of the root window, then I have placed some label in the root window, and the text for the label is choose any number, and this label is placed in row 0, column 1. Next, I define the Spinbox widget in the root window. The values to be displayed in the Spinbox are from 0 to 10. The width of the Spinbox is 5, and this Spinbox is placed in the same row but in column 1. Next, we define a function which is executed by a button widget. The name of the button widget is value button 1. This widget is placed in the root window. The text for the button is print number. The width of the button widget is 10, and the command that is executed by this button widget is print item number. So when it sees this command print item number, it goes to this function. If we want to print the values of the Spinbox widget received, then we can print the value in the print the item1.get and get this value in the IPython console. If we want to print the value of the Spinbox widget in the root window, then we define it as a label where the text to be printed is the Spinbox widget.get value. So the Spinbox widget is item 1, and the value received if by the Spinbox widget is captured by the get function, and this value is printed in the same row and column 3. Now if I execute this program, then we can find, and if we also want to print this value in the console, then we can execute this program and get it done. So here, first of all, if we see in the console, if I want to change some number and then I click the print button, then it prints the value 3 on the root window, as well as it also prints the same value in the IPython console. Later, if we want to add some values, text type values, then we can define those values as well. Here in this program, we have defined my label 2, where the text to be printed in the root window is choose any color. This label is printed in row 1 and column 0, that means the next row. The Spinbox widget is defined in the root window also itself, and the various color values which we want to capture are then declared in the variable values. This Spinbox widget is placed in the next row and in the row 1 and column 1. Next, we define a function that will be executed when the button is executed. The button to be executed is value button 2, which is a button widget placed in the root window. The text for the button is print color. The width of the button widget is 10, and the command to be executed by the button widget is print item values. So when it looks at this command, it goes to the print item values function, where if we want to print the value in the IPython console, then we can print it with the print function. Otherwise, we declare the label root where the text is a blank space. This text is printed because in case if the value first selected by the user is green and then if the next value selected by the user is red, then in order to clean the background, we print the text to be a blank space before printing the values. So this label is placed in the row 1 and column 3. After printing the blank values, we can then print the values of the Spinbox widget. So this Spinbox widget is item 2. We receive the value with the function get, and this is printed in the root window in row 1 and column 3. Now this program to get this executed is executed, and then we find the output. So here we see that there are two Spinbox widget. One is for number and other is for the color. If we choose any number and we also choose some color and print them both, then we can find that they are both displayed in the root window as well as because we have printed them in the console also. So here we can find that the values printed are 2 and orange. Similarly, if we want to change the color to some small spelling red and this value is 3 if we print. So here we see that the background is clean and the new Spinbox value is printed. Thanks for watching video.